Jamal Niaz here at For the Love of Wrestling with Monopoly Events with the absolute legend Rikishi.
Oh,
what an honor, man.
On,
what an honor.
Welcome, Manchester. I'm very happy to be here. It's been well over 20 years and it's freaking cold here. Ain't nothing changed here.
Nothing ever changes, man. This is pretty much summer for us all year round, wet and rainy, but having you here and all the amazing stars is definitely brightening up everyone's weekend here.
I'll tell you what, man, for the love of wrestling, boy, this is my first time, doing this this Comic-Con here for these people. Man, and it's been amazing. The turnout has been amazing. The fans have just been amazing. I mean, I can't complain. And I'm looking forward to coming back.
And reuniting with the likes of Sean Waltman, Lita, Trish Stratus, a lot of old friends.
It's almost like the Attitude Era all over again, which is the best area. I didn't say that. It's good to be back here in Manchester.
I bet. And when you mentioned the Attitude Era there, seeing how the industry and the business has transitioned from that time to where it is now, and your sons are absolutely running the show in the Bloodline. We the ones.
Yeah. It's been crazy to be able to turn on the tube. And, I don't watch it that much.
Right.
But I can't help when on my Twitter feed or X feed, the people always tagging. So I leave my notification on for certain people, for instance, like my kids and so forth. And, when you see, the stories and everything, what the fans are talking about, hashtag we want Rikishi is like, What are they talking about? Because I don't watch it that much until my boys, give me a heads up that we're coming on TV, let me know your thoughts. But yeah, thank you all the fans. I mean, the Bloodline has been 3+ years. Big shout out to the Uso Roman Reigns. Big shout out to the Usos, the twins, and also my my new son that's there, Solo Sikoa. So, and I want to personally thank the Wise Man. The Wise Man has been a part of the family for well over 40-some plus years. When we started together, and to be able to see this thing come full circle. There's nobody, more understanding of this industry than Paul Heyman.
I know you said you're not keeping up with it as much, but your sons, Jimmy and Jay, could potentially be wrestling each other at WrestleMania. And a lot of people want to see you in Jay's corner, because Jay's got no one in his corner right now other than Cody Rhodes.
Well, I've been hearing that all for the last... 16 hours since I've been here signing for the love of wrestling fans. Are you coming back? I said, what are you talking about? We need you to come back to settle this, drama going on between your kids. I'm like, what? I don't know. I really don't know. Will it happen? Maybe. Can it happen? Of course. But, is that what the fans want?
Yes.
Is that what the Bloodline wants? Is that what the WWE wants? And so in the meantime, I'm kind of the cat on the side. I'm just, I don't want to say patiently waiting, but I'm on the side.
I mean, that could potentially mean you reuniting with The Rock on screen now. The Rock has said that Roman is the head of the table. That would be incredible because you and The Rock had some amazing times in the Attitude Era, didn't you?
You know what? I'll tell you something, man. It seems like just the family has just been going at it.
Yeah.
I feel that people in the wrestling world, let's face it, there's no perfect family, whether you're in the wrestling business or just whatever business. But to be able to see this dynasty, go back and forth, it's entertaining to a lot of people. And the family's kind of just going divided. Yes. There needs to be some type of, law and order. Somebody needs to, pull it down and say, this is what it is. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We mentioned those times in the Attitude Era. That 6-man Hell in a Cell match, that bump, was that the most painful bump of your career? Chokeslam off the top of the cell?
Like I mentioned on my podcast, Rikishi off the top. I damn near got divorced from that bump. In this business, whenever you get an opportunity to be able to, take flight on something dangerous like that, there's two things you can do. You either back out of it, or you can, do what you do and what you're trained to do and trust the process. And, when I was up there with one of the, probably the biggest star in the industry was Undertaker, very good friend of mine. And, when he grabbed me for the choke slam, it's different when you're there in a live crowd, because now, you're nervous, your energy's going high, and you can hear people, that energy, like they're waiting for you to take that bump. And when I went to take that bump, I told them that, tell my family I love them. And that's how serious it got. And when I land, everything that was underneath that stack of hay and the crash pads, Rikishi at 453, went straight to those freaking shocks on that flatbed. So, but hey, that's what we do. And that's why you watch WWE, is because we going to give it to you.
It was a truly iconic moment, iconic match. It was pretty much the prelude to what the Elimination Chamber is, because we've never seen a 6-man Hell in a Cell match since, because it's kind of been replaced by the Elimination Chamber, hasn't it?
And you know what? On the flip side, one thing that I, enjoy when people ask me is what was one of my memorable matches. And I would say Hell in a Cell. And I'm going to talk to you from the boys' standpoint. In the boys' standpoint, you always want to be able to give it an opportunity to be in the ring with the main eventers. And so you got Undertaker, Triple H, right? You got The Rock, you got Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle, and myself. That was back in the day. That was the stack, superstar type of roster. And I'm probably the one that was the number 6 guy. But given that opportunity to grace the ring with, these 5, professionals, was really, it made me feel good that I was given that opportunity. It made me feel good that, I was worthy to be in this match with these big headliners. And I knew, okay, what am I going to do to, to stand out from the stunner, from the people's elbow and all that stuff there. And, I guess me and Mick Foley were crazy enough to take the big bumps in the Hell in a Cell.
Who were the guys that you were closest to in the locker room that were there for you no matter what, and you just had a real brotherly relationship with?
Well, make no mistake about it, it's BSK. My brother Undertaker, the Godfather, Yokozuna, Henry Godwins, and Phineas, Brother Savio, Uncle Fuji, rest in peace, Crush. I like to say we were the first diversity crew back in the day. It's weird how time changes. Like, through the love of professional wrestling, here's these guys come from all walks of life, and we just became so close, like brothers, over a game of dominoes, Jack Daniels, and just nice, cold, simple beer. And, having brothers like that on the road, it makes it easier. Because being on the road back in the day, man, it was very, very difficult. Guys wasn't making, that much money. And so it's not what you make, is what you save on the road. And so me and Savio would probably, we would probably, team up in Motel 6s back in the day, and, bathroom towels smelling like cigarettes. And, we all did it with a smile. We looked after each other, and here we are. BSK is still running wild, and, together, Undertaker's doing his thing with WWE. So happy he finally, decide to, go into the Hall of Fame and so forth. And, if you guys ever seen his speech, probably one of the best speeches to me, because you always want to leave something behind for the younger generation and also the fans too, to really, for years, you guys see who we are on TV. But it seems like, when you have that last ride into the Hall of Fame, and you you say your speech and you want it to be impact for everybody's life. And his speech was, it touched me again, being able to be able to grow and continue to grow and understand what our purpose is through professional wrestling.
You had your own sons induct you into the Hall of Fame as well, the Usos, and you had that amazing moment where you got to do the Too Cool dance on an episode of Raw. That was probably about a decade ago. Those two moments must have been two of the most emotional moments of your career, because they're not just your sons, they've also evolved into probably the best tag team of the modern era and perhaps the best tag team of all time.
Yeah, as a father, anytime you are able to see your kids, grow into life and become, men and be responsible, doing well in this job industry of sports entertainment, professional wrestling, I know that, there's a lot of pitfalls. And to be able to see my boys, continue to grow and find their way. They didn't have it easy. I wouldn't give it to them easy. I wanted them to find their way and, through the, love of, their uncle, Umaga, and their uncle Yoko and so forth. It's different from an uncle to the nephews. But when you have your father, I just wanted them to do good, make the right choices and so forth. And, didn't really, I'll be the first to admit, I didn't really want them to be in the wrestling business because I wanted them to continue moving on to other things because I didn't want them to go through what we went through. Being sacrificed, being away from home, missing birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, you name it. And I just wanted them to, live a normal life. But now that they're doing it, I guess it's been 16 years now since they've been with the WWE, and they've definitely paved their way and cemented their way in history. Not only behind the scenes as being, truly they're humble kids, but they were made for this industry of entertainment. Because I can't tell you how many times they broke a lot of furnitures and beds back in the house, like the normal, right? The normal. What kids doesn't, boys doesn't go out there and break your pops and your mom's furnitures and stuff like that. But and also, let's give thanks to the fans. You know what I mean? Without you fans, like you guys, you make us wrestlers work harder because we try to find that connection bond between you and me. And if you don't like me, we definitely gonna know it. If you love me, we're definitely gonna know it. And so in this wrestling business, the boys have figured that out. And so now we got Solo Sikoa. We'll see what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I see all three of them being world champions in the next few years. 100% Solo, Jimmy and Jay, they all deserve it. Solo absolutely squashed John Cena, which is no mean feat, is it? For your first full year on the main roster as well. Incredible.
Well, it's almost like when you watch Solo, I get a flashback of my younger brother, Umaga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just, Solo, he's a natural in there. You can tell the way he moves and, he barely cracks a smile in there. And he's very focused. He's not a wrestler out there to play games or that's just not his character, and that's not who he is personally. He's focused. As if he's writing something, he'll be focused. And but on the twin side, it's different. Jimmy's kind of the comedian of the crew. He's kind of the laid back guy, and then you have Jay. And Jay is like authority, like he works, goes after it hard, and so at the end of the day, I look forward, if this dream match happens to WrestleMania, man, it'll be a historical moment, not only for the boys, to be able to finally get their wish, to be able to headline or be a part of WrestleMania together. And, let's see, because there needs to be that piece of puzzle to complete that. And I'll leave it at that.
What a tease. We'll leave it at that. I really appreciate it, man. You got me so hyped. It's been incredible speaking to you. One of the greatest legends in the history of wrestling, Rikishi. Absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thank
Continue the great work, okay?
Oh, thank you, man.
Peace and love,
Thank you.
Manchester.